Nowadays, there are three types of Golden Retriever: American, Canadian, and English. However, the Golden Retriever originates from none of these countries, hailing from Scotland, specifically Glen Affric in the Scottish Highlands, around 20 miles away from Loch Ness. The breed was developed in Scotland during the 19th century by Sir Dudley Marjoribanks. Marjoribanks was a Scottish businessman and politician who sat in the House of Commons for 27 years and over his life gained a large amount of wealth for him and his family. In 1854, he used some of this wealth to lease a Highland deer forest in Inverness-shire and later bought the land outright. On this land, he created a large kennel complex, and this is where he developed the Golden Retriever. The entire breed comes from a chance encounter Marjoribanks had with a cobbler when walking with his son in Brighton. He noticed a cobbler with a young golden flat-coated retriever who became known as Noose. The cobbler had been given the dog as a debt payoff from a nobleman. At the time, only black-coated retrievers were of any value for hunting, and others, such as Noose with his golden coat, were considered faulty and were often disposed of. Noose, for example, was the only golden pup in an otherwise black litter. Tweedmouth bought the dog off the cobbler and brought him home to his estate. Baron Tweedmouth, as Marjoribanks was later known, started to develop his new breed in 1868, when he bred his wavy-coated retriever Noose with a Tweed water spaniel named Belle. The pair produced a litter of puppies, named Crocus, Cowslip, Ada, and Primrose. These puppies were the first in a long line of litters produced on the way to creating the Golden Retriever. In the 1890s, Marjoribanks' youngest son Archie took a yellow retriever to Texas, and from there moved to Canada. The breed was eventually recognised by the American Kennel Club in 1932, and was recognised by the Canadian Kennel Club in 1927. Over the years, the bloodline was mated with other flat-coated retrievers and water spaniels, but also red setter, bloodhound and Labrador retriever lineages were introduced. Finally, something resembling a true breed was created, but at first the line was known as the Golden Flat-Coated Retrievers, a term which first made an appearance in 1903. The first examples of the breed were registered in France in 1934 and in Australia in 1937. Its worldwide popularity meant that the breed did not receive the same fate as many other dog breeds did during the Second World War. In 1911, Mrs. Charlesworth, as well as a committee of stewards, created the Yellow or Golden Retriever Breed Club for England. Mrs. Charlesworth was often mistaken for a man, often dressing in masculine clothing. She only married very briefly, but her passion for Golden Retrievers seems to be hereditary, as her great-niece, who currently resides in North Yorkshire, is still involved with the breed. She decided that Tweedmouth strain were too heavy for true retriever work, and strived to make the breed lighter and true to its name. She wrote the first standard for the breed in 1911. Sadly, she passed in 1954, but she had dedicated 44 years of her life to breeding Golden Retrievers and owned the first ever Golden Retriever champion, advocating for the need of maintaining the breed's hunting instinct. One myth around the origin of the breed is that modern-day Golden Retrievers were descended from Russian circus dogs known as Russian trackers. Whilst it is true that Marjoribanks purchased 3 of these dogs from a travelling circus, there is no evidence they contributed to his Golden Retrievers. One of these dogs, known as Sancho, was a yellow colour, which could have inspired the theory. However, it is more likely that it was only Sancho's colour that was part of the story of the Golden Retriever, and inspired Marjoribanks to experiment with Noose. It was firmly believed that this was the true origin of the Golden Retrievers until the mid-20th century, but was soon debunked by the Field magazine, which stated that Baron Tweedmouth's grandson had earlier said that his grandfather had never even bred Sancho. According to the breed standard, Golden Retrievers should be calm and biddable and are known to be intelligent and gentle-natured dogs. The dogs have a double coat, the outer long and either wavy or flat, and the dense undercoat to provide weather resistance. Their head should be broad with a well-defined stop, with dark eyes set well apart. The standard is pretty much the same worldwide, but the cream colour is sometimes not permitted, and the dogs are slightly taller. Unfortunately, Golden Retrievers are prone to several health conditions. Some of these can be screened for in breeding dogs, such as hip dysplasia and elbow dysplasia, as well as 4 different eye conditions. These eye conditions include hereditary cataracts, multifocal retinal dysplasia and gonioscopy, as well as progressive retinal atrophy, despite this being virtually eliminated in the UK. The breed is also prone to oral hematomas, a condition which occurs when blood leaks inside the ear flap, which can happen if a dog repeatedly or aggressively scratches or shakes their ears. This is often due to the dog suffering from an itchy ear canal due to inflammation, infection, or ear mites. Whilst traditionally bred as gun dogs, a use which is still widely seen, the Golden Retriever has truly become a master of all trades, being well known as companions, guide dogs, and therapy dogs. The breed has also been known to play starring roles in movies, such as Buddy from the Air Bud franchise. Whilst excellent family pets, a healthy Golden Retriever is not a couch potato. They require at least 2 hours of exercise a day, otherwise they may develop destructive behaviours such as chewing and scratching. However, exercise for these dogs does not just mean a walk, as they enjoy swimming, running, chasing, and even hide and seek. Due to their thick double coat, Golden Retrievers shed a lot, but a de-shedding comb can be used to thin out the undercoat. They must be brushed more than once a week to maintain their luscious locks and prevent mats.